We got to get to the root of the problem, fix it, and just make America better and make America great. Welcome back to the show. Don't forget to subscribe. Let's get right to it. First topic. So Zelensky is now calling for a ceasefire. Go ahead, take a look at the clip.
My proposal, we offer, which I believe our partners can support, is that we propose to the Russians a ceasefire until the leaders meet. We offer a meeting any day starting from Monday. Why ceasefire before leaders meet? Because we can meet, and if there is no mutual understanding, if there is not desire for de-escalation, if there is no desire and vision how to put an end to it, then the ceasefire will be over the same day. It can be initiated unilaterally by the Russians. Please feel free to do so.
Yeah, so now for some reason, all of a sudden, after they pull off this, Pearl Harbor style attack on Russia, they want to all of a sudden just have a ceasefire? Like what is the reason? Is it because Trump talked to Putin and Putin didn't seem too interested in, a ceasefire and was talking about how, yeah, we're probably going to have to retaliate. Yeah, it's looking like we're going to retaliate. And now all of a sudden Zelensky's like, whoa, we're totally in for a ceasefire. It's all on Russia. It is just so insane. Like, why the hell did they do that attack in the first place? Like, is it just we wanted one last victory that we could basically claim, oh yeah, we pretty much won the war. Look at, we did that. Or is it just somebody in his ear saying, oh yeah, don't worry, we got your back, man. You got to do that. You do that. Whatever happens, we got you. We got you. It was something like that, right? Where it's just like, it had to be, we're going for one last good strike, or somebody was in the guy's ear saying, yeah, you got to do it. And now all of a sudden he's Mr. Oh, yes, let's do a ceasefire. I don't want any retaliation or anything. Let's just get this deal done. It's like, God, I'm just so sick of the whole Ukraine war, and I have Ukraine fatigue, folks. Let me know if at this point, after all the years of this war going on and hearing about Ukraine every day and people saying, oh, let's do it for Ukraine and the Ukraine flags in the bio, let me know if you have Ukraine fatigue too. But all right, let's get to the next topic. JD Vance completely blasted Harvard for basically being North Korea. Go ahead, take a look at the clip.
I don't know what the voting... the voting in the 2024 election of Harvard University's faculty was, okay? My guess is that at least 90% and probably 95% of them voted for Kamala Harris, right? Very brilliant Kamala Harris, of course. But, if you ask yourself a foreign election, a foreign country's election, and you say 80% of the people voted for one candidate, you would say, oh, that's kind of weird, right? That's like not a super healthy democracy. If you said, oh, 95% of people voted for one party's candidate, you would say that's North Korea, right? That's totalitarian. That is impossible in a true place of free exchange for that to happen. And so I think the ideological diversity of these universities has to get much better. And I think that if that got better, if you actually had a place where people were open to debating these things and weren't terrified they were going to lose their job for saying something that was a little bit outside the Overton window, then I think the science would get better, the reproducibility would get better, the quality of the institution would be so much better. And that's what I want, because we need high quality universities. Right now, the problem is we don't have them.
Yeah, so the guy makes a great point. I mean, Harvard's just complete left-wing liberal lunacy throughout the whole institution. Now, if you were in a business, if you own a business right now, right, and you're hiring some people and you have some recently graduated Harvard grads coming in and applying for your business, how likely would you be to hire the Harvard grad? Because you know what you're getting yourself into. You see it every day. You see it's just all free Palestine and we're blah, 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 globalize the intifada, blah, blah. It's all just left-wing liberal BS. And you got to really ask yourself, are these people actually educated now? I mean, or are they just completely indoctrinated? Like, did they really learn real crap and real information, or did they just learn, what the Harvard institution indoctrination machine wanted them to learn. And just the type of crap that they're just spewing out all the time, you know. Every time you see a clip from Harvard these days, or you hear really anything, it's all terrible news. It's all just like, my God, how is that even possible? Or how is that even going on? Like, especially when you hear the stories of like the Harvard medical is now claiming that yes, men can be women and blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh my God. So they're going that hard in the paint on the whole woke, just, you know, weird left-wing agenda lunacy. It's just, I could not, if I had a business, I would stay so far away from the Harvard, just any sort of, you know, almost even, God, I just want somebody off the streets who's just like, yeah, I just don't have a degree. I got my high school diploma, but I'm just ready to work. That's the type of person I want right now. I don't need the person who just graduated Harvard, thinks they're a genius in everything, and they have everything figured out because they took a liberal arts class, you know? But all right, let's get to the next topic. So a Democrat rep, Becca Balint, had the most insane reason why we should be keeping illegals. Go ahead, take a look at the clip.
Labor, and of course, we have to come to a place in Congress where it is no longer a political issue, but we see it as an existential issue for the country. If we don't have avenues for people to come here legally to work or to build a home here, I'm going to be really crude right now. We're not going to have anybody around to wipe our asses because we don't have enough people.
Yeah, so what is it with these people? Every single time, and whenever they offer up a reason why, oh, immigrants should definitely stay, this is why we need immigrants here, it's either for slave labor, or it's basically slave labor, or in this case, to wipe our asses. I mean, what are you even saying there? I mean, I get what she's saying. She's trying to, like, kind of, make it like, oh, who's gonna save us? Who's gonna save us when we need somebody to build our houses? But it's just so stupid to insinuate that Americans can't build houses or do construction work. And when did this whole thing of like, oh, no American wants to be a construction worker? Since when did being a construction worker become like the worst job ever? You know, like, oh, now it's like he's working at McDonald's. He does construction. He's a roofer. Like, that is good, solid work, you know, good, hard-earned, you know, living and people doing things. It's a good talent. Like, I don't get that. But the reason Americans aren't doing it is because the people, the contractors hiring the workers are like, oh, yeah, I could just hire this illegal for way less. That is the reason. Like, it's nothing else. It's not like, oh, Americans just don't want to do it. No, it's complete BS, that narrative that Americans, they're not going to build our houses. Yeah, right. The people doing the hiring just don't want to hire people for a real wage, and they just want to hire the illegals because they'll take less, and it's just, you know, that's the facts. That is the facts. But all right, let's get to the next topic. So a man was arrested for scaling the fences at Mar-A-Lago and saying he wants to marry Trump's granddaughter. Go ahead, take a look at the clip.
Arrested and accused of trespassing at President Trump's Mar-A-Lago estate overnight. Tuesday, the Secret Service agents said they detained this man, 23-year-old Anthony Reyes, after he allegedly scaled the perimeter fence at Mar-a-Lago. Reyes apparently told Palm Beach police that he wanted to, and this is a quote, marry Kai. Kai Trump is the one he's apparently talking about, the president's 18-year-old niece and daughter of Donald Trump Jr. Reyes was booked at the Palm Beach County Jail with a bond set at $50,000.
Yeah, so why does it seem like every day we're hearing a story like this where somebody's doing something crazy and it's just like, Jesus, now that's wild. It's because there's a huge mental illness problem in America today. And until people want to acknowledge it and say, yeah, it is becoming a really big issue, whether it's from crazy people entering the country, whether it's, you know, crazy drug addicts who are living on the streets. Because remember, folks, those are not homeless people who are just down on their luck like everybody wants to, you know, claim. They're drug addicts who just don't give a damn about everything and just want to do drugs. Or whether it's a situation where, you know, the medical industry is prescribing these drugs that are making people go crazy too. I mean, I don't know what it is exactly. I'm sure it's a mixture of all of those things. But yeah, until somebody and everybody starts stepping up and saying, yeah, we got a pretty big mental health issue on our hands right now. America's mental health is just terrible. until everybody starts acknowledging it and quits pretending and like, dancing around the subject like, oh, we can't say it, we can't admit it. These types of weird things and crazy attacks and just, people going off and doing crazy crap, it's not going to stop, folks. We got to get to the root of the problem, fix it, and just make America better and make America great. But all right, that's it for today. Be sure to like, subscribe, and we'll be seeing you.